Welcome to I Learn English. According to a recent report, there are currently over 200 million children learning English in China. Over 40% of these students learn English in professional training centers. In the same report, they also state that there are over 180 million children aged 0 to 7, which also happens to be our primary market. My name is Dave McKinnon, and I am founder and owner of a program called I Learn English based out of China. I have a teacher's degree and a master's in technology and education. Over the past 5 years, I've lived and taught in China and developed a great respect for Chinese culture. Throughout my time here, I've noticed several unsuccessful English teaching programs, and I've always thought there must be a better way to teach Chinese children English. That's what inspired me to start the program I Learn English. From my time here in China, I have discovered it is a culture that places huge importance on family and education. Parents of children in China are willing to make sacrifices for the good of their children, and they see education as a top priority. This is a market that is increasing in value, and it seems to be pretty reliable for the near future. Of course, there are other professional English training centers currently operating inside China, but I believe our program offers a competitive advantage. I Learn English offers a blended learning environment for its students, where approximately half of the child's learning occurs within the class and the other half through guided independent learning at home. I believe that the best learning program for the majority of Chinese children is a blended course as previously described. As most of the parents of these children speak very little English, if any at all, it is important that the students have regular opportunities to meet with the teacher and clarify any problems they might be having. Another important and often sought after quality in speaking a second language is proper pronunciation. Ideally, students should be able to spend time talking and listening to a native English speaker. According to a teaching English poll on the BBC website, quite a few people feel strongly that hearing a native English speaker talk can be very beneficial. A 100% in-class program would be great, but unfortunately it can be quite expensive, and most Chinese families do not have the means to afford this option. Fully online courses or DVD-based learning programs exist, but I also feel that students will miss out on the face-to-face interactions that are important while learning another language. So, there is definitely a market, and I previously provided rationale for the blended learning environment, but I have yet to discuss what truly makes the I Learn English program different. First, I need to discuss what I think are the most important aspects when designing an English learning program. First, the program needs to be structured. There needs to be clear goals set out for each lesson and unit, and students need to be constantly moving forward and see the progress they are making. The program needs to be interactive. To be the most effective program, it needs to be enjoyable for the kids, including having as much control as possible to keep them engaged. The program needs to be efficient. The students need to be making the best use of every minute of their class time. Whatever can be done at home on their own should be. The I Learn English program is structured such that there are 5 level classifications. Kids start out in the egg, move on to the hatchling, to the juvenile, then to the young adult, and finally to the adult. Within those levels, the students will complete a total of 20 lessons during their particular time in the unit, and they will not be allowed to move on until they have completed the end of unit test. If students are unable to pass the test and the teacher feels that it is justified, students will repeat that particular unit. When I was creating the I Learn English program, I felt it was important not to spend too much time recreating interactivities, because there are already so many good ones out there. Because the program is designed ahead of time, and appropriate apps and resources are installed beforehand, The teacher can specifically focus on helping the students and providing feedback on their work. Part of the research that went into the program was locating and testing all the great software already online. Once the initial research was conducted, I decided to build my course around the apps and software available. It is a rather unconventional approach. Most educators develop their program and then aim to find suitable material to supplement their lessons. By building the program off of existing tools, the result is a tighter program where everything is strongly linked. The entire program is preloaded onto an iPad before the students begin their learning. Therefore, there is less of a need to worry about providing appropriate links or things not working when they get home. Also, students will never be able to lose their books or notes from class, as it is all on the iPad. Students are able to spend all of their in-class time focusing on speaking and listening. Then, when they get home, they are able to open up their appropriate app or activity and complete further exercises on their own. So, what hooks do we have in our program to attract that clientele? First, iPads. Anything Apple in China is huge. According to Bloomberg.com, Apple's second biggest market is in China. The second hook is the large amount of interactive learning English apps that are part of the curriculum. One thing that will help the business grow is children who enjoy their studying. Kids will hardly even realize they're studying when they're playing games on their iPad. Great apps like Google Translate also allow children to practice their pronunciation. This app also has the capability to pronounce words that the kids might not know. The third hook is the tracking software. Parents will be able to log into their individual accounts and display all the relevant data regarding their child, including their current grades, list of completed and incomplete tasks, schedule for the upcoming weeks, awards and badges for great work in class, and also messages from their children's teachers. So, where do you come in? Well, this is a startup business. It can be hard to generate the funds needed. Here's a list of things that will need to be purchased or paid for in the first few months. Rent and utility for the classroom, iPads for the classroom, apps purchased for the English learning program, tracking program fees, salaries, health insurance, and transportation costs for our teachers, and finally advertising to get the word out. The plan to start is to start off small, focusing on quality over quantity. Possibly running a trial class to see what works and what might need to be improved before really going forward with the project. After the first class is successful, I plan on expanding into more classes, but only as demand requires and if capable employees are able to be hired. So, come on board with me. There is a very real opportunity for us to change the way Chinese children learn English. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Hope to be hearing from you soon.